Here's your Jam Radio news update. Met Police Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley has broken ranks with decades of silence, admitting that Freemasonry's influence within the police force must be confronted head-on.
Final question about Freemasonry in the Met Police. Why is that something you're worried about, and why is that something police officers need to declare?
Freemasonry has been the subject of numerous reports over decades in the police, including recommendations recently that it ought to be a declarable association.
His remarks follow a BBC Panorama investigation into corruption in the Met. Read the full story at jamradio.uk. Violent protests erupted outside the Prime Minister's home at Downing Street last night over the interception of the global Flotilla by Israeli forces. A boat carrying activist Greta Thunberg was among those detained near Gaza. Police responded with force, prompting criticism from outlets like The Canary. Where was this energy for the far-right protests? LBC's Natasha C. reported from the scene. Keir Starmer won't be able to see it, but he'll definitely be able to hear it. The freedom to protest is precious, but not always appropriate. Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood urges pro-Palestine demonstrators to take a step back after 40 arrests outside Downing Street last night. She says this weekend's protests feel un-British and asks for unity and grief.
The freedom to protest is a precious freedom in this country, but what I would say to people that are planning to go on a protest is just to take a step back for a minute. Imagine if you had lost a loved one to a terror attack in this country, and just because you have a freedom doesn't mean to say you have to use it all the time. Sometimes a little unity, a little solidarity, some love and friendship to other people is required. I was very disappointed that those protests went ahead last night. 40 arrests were made, including for assaulting police officers. We will not tolerate that behaviour. Those individuals will face the full force of the law.
In other news, 2 worshippers were killed during Yom Kippur prayers in Manchester in what authorities are calling a targeted terror attack. The tragedy has reignited calls for stronger protections and a clearer separation between religious communities and geopolitical scapegoating. Here's your Jam Radio weather. Storm Amy is hammering northern and western parts of the UK with winds up to 95 miles per hour. Amber warnings are in place for parts of Northern Ireland and western and northern Scotland. Rail services, including key Anglo-Scottish routes, are suspended. Officials in Cumbria warn of possible power cuts as trees fall and lines strain. The Midlands should brace for heavy rain and gusts later today as showers sweep across the UK. That's it for your Jam Radio news update. Stay tuned for more great music and news update throughout the day.